Hi everyone. So we know that according to Kabbalah, there are two purposes in our lives, in our human existence. One is the connection to the Creator, the divine, a higher power, and one is the connection to love and relationships between people. And it's not by coincidence that the word love, if you take the whole word love twice in Hebrew, it adds up to the tetragrammaton, the name of God. And Rabbi Chaim Vital explained that there are four elements that can help you either prevent from doing things or doing good things. Now, what does this mean? There are the four elements. There's the element of fire, which is the inner flame that can take you as far as you can imagine. There is nothing that can stop you. It's going to warm the cold hearts and ignite the engines that seem asleep, and it will push you and others to get to their full potential. And then there's air that represents the ability to speak and to communicate and to motivate people, to lead with words, to console people in pain. They're basically the speakers of the world. Then there's water, which is feelings and emotions, and two things can happen here. You might feel people's pain and feel sorry for them and develop an ego that you're unique and you're the only one that can feel people's pain. Or the second thing is you can start feeling your own sadness and lack of things that your other friends have, which eventually lead to jealousy. So that's where you need to be careful, because water is about feeling emotions, and if we use it the right way, we can help people a lot. Then there's earth, which is the ground, and earth delivers the feeling of balance to people around us. It helps us be grounded, meaning that people will not feel that they're running on clouds or broken bridges, but they'll feel safety. There's enough materialistic fulfillment, there's enough food, there's enough money, there's enough safety, and everything will be fine tomorrow. And then we have the four elements that are activated. These four elements actually are activated to be used the right way. Now, what happens if they're used the wrong way? So these same forces can be deactivated when we use them the wrong way. What does that mean? Fire, so the same feeling that ignites and can turn everybody on and turn passion on and turn warmth on and desire and all of that can turn into ego. And what is ego? When you separate yourselves from everybody and when you separate yourself from the divine, because you start expecting people to appreciate what you did for them instead of enjoying the fruit of the fulfillment of actually helping them. Air, in communication, if we do communication solely for other people, there's no ego in it. But what's the deactivation? What's the opposite of what can happen to air? Is that communication with a need of recognition of the words of wisdom, or words that will suggest that you are the only one who everyone needs to listen to, and when they don't, then they will either suffer or you'll need to abuse them. Words like that advise people to connect to you rather than the creator, meaning you're the one that's important now. Don't worry about the creator. I'm the one that's helping you now. That's what happens when you use the other side of the element of air. Water, feeling emotions, and like I said, you can either feel people's pain and develop the ego, or feel people's pain and go into their heart and help them. But when you go into their pain and become you become unique and you think you're the only one that can feel people's pain, that's when your ego comes in. And when you start feeling your own sadness and your own lack and you start being jealous of people, jealousy is one of the worst things that can happen to a person. One of the worst things. And what's the other side of earth, the deactivating of the element? It's the ground rules are great, but you need money to survive, and you don't have the capability to enjoy your money because you're so busy trying to get the money. You come to a place where eventually you start suffering from depression that you don't have enough. So even if you have enough, you have this disease that you think you don't have enough. And there are a lot of people like that, where they know they don't know that they have. So if you're searching for your life to be balanced and you panic so much that you don't even see that people around you are safe already because you're looking for the balance all the time. Those are the deactivations. Now, what I wanted to share with you is a little bit about the signs in the elements and their positive and negative traits. So we can start with fire, because for all fire signs, love can be a bit of a challenge. They will very often rationalize love. Now, on the other hand, they are very passionate and they're very giving people, like Aries. Aries is the water of the fire. So every element has another element in it, meaning fire has water, fire, and air in it. So Aries is the water of the fire, and water is the internal energy of that sign, and they belong to the right column of the fire signs. So what does that mean? They're very enthusiastic people. Their conquest and overcoming things is what Aries do best, and they're very generous and wholehearted people. They just need to be careful not to make it about themselves so that they don't deactivate that element. Leo is the fire of the fire and the left column of the fire signs. So Leos know how to get into everyone's heart. They are a people person and they can warm everyone's heart. They're ruled by the sun, and because of this, they have an extraordinary amount of energy and love, and they never do things halfway. If they do something, they're all the way in, and they'll bring everybody around them, and they'll slowly get everybody involved, which is good because they will excite people and they'll ignite people. Sagittarius, they are the air of the fire, and they're the central column. They are ruled by Jupiter, and they're considered the hunters. And whatever they want, if it's for themselves or for anybody else, they will go after it and they will bring everybody with them. They'll sweep everybody into that passion and that desire. They have a huge heart and they use it to reach everyone around them. So they are the go-getters of the fire signs. Then we have the air signs, and the air signs are amazing communicators. They can be good journalists, they can be teachers, they're excellent. And Geminis are the central column of the air signs, and they're ruled by the planet Mercury. And they're very good at feeling people's pain, and they can always find the right thing to say when someone is in pain. And they can make things very interesting. They're very intellectual. So they can bring people in with the intellectual and pique their enthusiasm and get them to start studying and helping. Libra is the right column. It's the water of the air, and they're ruled by Venus. And Libras are peacemakers. They will always look to see what's good for everyone. They want the perfect balance around them, and they are the best in forming friendships, in forming relationships. They have friends all over. They can have a friend in Israel. They have friends all over. They are amazing, amazing friend makers. Then we have Aquarius, and Aquarius is the left column of the air, and they're the fire of the air, and they're ruled by Saturn, and as we know, the age of Aquarius. So what does that mean? Aquarians are the ones who want to change the world. They have such a big vision. Their desire is enormous. They think completely out of the box. They're the peacemakers, they're the visionaries, and they want to change the world, which is an amazing thing. Then we have the water signs. We have Scorpio, and Scorpio is the fire of the water. They're ruled by Mars, and Scorpio has unconditional love for people. They know how to get into a person and help them unconditionally, and they won't stop till that person reaches their potential. They don't even think about themselves. All they think about is helping the other person. Pisces is the next water sign, and Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, and they are the air of the water. They are intellectual people, and they love learning. They have out-of-the-box ideas, but the best thing about Pisces is that they are excellent listeners. and they can get very emotionally involved in the life of others and help them from the bottom of their heart. Then we have the Cancers. The Cancerians are extremely good at giving people a sense of warmth, safety, family. They love sharing their homebodies. They love sharing their passions, and they want to bring everyone into their inner circle and just make everyone feel at home. Their biggest thing, they're great cooks. Their thing is family. They want everybody to feel safe and warm. The next element is Earth. So we have Taurus, and Taurus is the fire of the earth. They are the left column, ruled by Venus, and they're very passionate. They're amazing at being persistent, at being consistent at something. If it's relationships, if it's work, whatever it is, they are very consistent in making things work. You can count on them. If there's something wrong, they will be your rock. And they very rarely get angry. Excuse me. They are extremely patient, they are extremely loving, and they are just the best to have as friends. Then we have Virgo, and Virgo is the air of the earth. It's the central column. And they're very grounded, they're very systematic. They will go out of their way to care for you, and they feel completely responsible for you. If they take on a project, they are responsible for it from A to Z. A to Z. Capricorn is the last of the earth signs, and it's the water of the earth, the right column, and they're ruled by Saturn. And surprisingly, I know a lot of people think Capricorns are ice because on the outside they don't look like they have emotions, but they are very emotional people. Remember, they're the water of the earth, so they feel inside. They take things very seriously, and they can always be counted on like the Taurus, but on the other side is that they always feel like everything is on their shoulders. So they need to be a little careful because that is also ego, where the whole world is on my shoulders. But they can be counted on. So these are the different elements of what we have. We have the fire, water, earth, and air. And every element that we have has both sides. If it's communication, if it's nurturing, if it's emotion, if it's stability, whatever those things are, we all have all of the 4 elements inside of us, and we can use them for positive and we can use them for negative. Our job in this world is 2 things: our connection with the Creator and our connection with other people, our connection to love and relationships. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm just going to call the Creator for a minute and have a direct call with the Creator. That doesn't really happen. So how do we do that? How do we have a connection with the Creator? The way to have a connection with the Creator is to have connections with the people around us. If we were supposed to be on this earth by ourselves, we would all have our own island with our own plane and our own car and our own food, and we wouldn't have to do anything. The reason that we are here all together is to learn how to be with each other, is to learn how we can love each other, and by doing that, we can connect to the Creator. Thank you.